started the recording. We already have understood that what is Python. Okay. Let me brief you. Like Python is an interpreted language which actually don't have any compiler ahead of them. Compiler means uh, which actually compiles the code from a source code which actually and it converts that code to a bytecode which actually understood by the machines, okay, or our OS. So we can say in Python interpreter we have two of the thing already available. So one is a compiler and one is a virtual machine. So this virtual machine usually also called as PVM, Python virtual machine. So let me start from the beginning how the things work internally in Python. So after installation of Python software in our computer, first we need to write a Python code. Okay. For that we need editor. So we have Jupyter editor with us, or there are multiple editor like VS Code, okay, PyCharm, Atom. There are multiple IDE we have, which actually gives us the power to, to edit or update, to write the Python code. After that, we write the source code, where each statement of Python code has been written on that. To run the specific code, we need to provide the code to our interpreter. So interpreter is nothing. If somebody is asking what is a Python interpreter, so directly you can say the combination of a compiler and a PVM is a Python interpreter. In another language like in Java or C++, they used to first compile their code, then they run their code. But in Python, we directly run our code because we don't need to compile it ahead of running. Okay. See, after we write our code, we actually call the Python interpreter. Calling the Python interpreter is really simple. In the command line, prior to our file name, we just specify Python in that, which actually trigger the Python interpreter in our system, which actually tell that this particular file is being a Python file. Please take care of that and run through the process of the for the output, providing the output. Yeah. In this particular process where the Python interpreter is working, there is a support of libraries also. So what is libraries? In last class we have discussed Python. Python is a software which actually have immense number of libraries or Python codes, helpful Python codes. If I can say you an example like NumPy, Pandas, PySpark, those are the Python libraries which actually helping different type of people which actually those are using Python. For data engineering, we need NumPy, we need Pandas. So the code is already written. We just need to invoke the functions. Okay. So here we have those libraries, we have those modules which actually help us to find the to get the code from our libraries, internal libraries. What will happen if in your code you have already written import pandas, import numpy, and you have used the functionality, but you have not installed? It will definitely say the library is not there. Can you please install? For that purpose only, we are installing the library first of all. Then after we are running the source code. That we have the library or the module inside our lib database. Okay. This is the flow of how the Python actually works internally. I can show you an example by running a source code as we will proceed through Jupyter Notebook. But yeah, I can show you one example on that. So we have an empty directory in this module. And here we need to start it. We need to write a Python program. So our first step would be creating a file which actually ended their extension in .py. .py. Let me write a Python file here. Demo class .py. We already know if the file extension is ending with the specific text, it is a text file. If it is ending with .ppt, then it's a presentation file. Okay, PPT file. We can use them in our slideshow, in our presentation application, right? Same as if you want to write a Python program, you need to add py as an extension. Okay, let me save it. Yeah, it is being saved. Once I open it, so which ID is still actually open? This is a ID called VS Code. Okay, in our runtime, in our real life scenario, for a different use case, different people can use a different ID. So for backend people, they can use like for the web development, they can use ID because it's quite convenient to play with different file at a time. So here is the ID. So see, first we have the ID and we have the Python source code here with us. Okay, this is source code. And right now we can write some code in Python. Let me write this. So this is a print function, which actually is also a library in Python. We can say this is a built-in package which is already in our library, which are coming from installing Python. You can say how this print actually understands. It needs to print the function because it is already there in our library. While compiling, while it is running through the virtual, Python virtual machine, Python itself identifies this print is a function which is there in our libraries, built-in libraries. So we don't need to install print anywhere. Okay, you can see it is written print the value on the stream. Stream is our CLI or command prompt, and gives is also gives a output of a again file if you print that file.
Krishna,
Yeah.
is it possible
Yes.
to increase a little font size a little bit?
Is that good?
Yeah, now it is good.
Okay, thank you. So we have a print function which actually calls by a parenthesis open and close. Inside of that, we have a string of characters. Okay, in Python it is called string. So here I have written hello to everyone in the class. If I need to print it on our Python console, then see, I need to run the terminal and I need to go to that particular place where this demo class is there. Okay. Why the demo class is written? Let me see. It is inside D. Okay. I don't need to go inside that particularly right now. What I can do is open the CMD here only and run this Python. Here. So in this particular folder, we have a Python file. So here we need to, if we need to start the Python interpreter or this to invoke this Python interpreter, it is very simple. We need to write Python on this command prompt and by following the file name. What is the file name? Demo class.py. This is the process of activating the Python interpreter. Okay, to what I can say is to reach this particular boxes where actually compilation is happening, where we are invoking the Python virtual machine. If I click enter on it, it will print my string, whatever it is written on our command prompt. So this is the process of running a Python file.
Krishna, is it like more like a writing a batch file and executing a batch file from the command prompt? Is that
Yeah,
what
same as that. Yeah, same as that, but it actually goes inside our Python virtual machine. It is not going inside the Bash software, which actually Microsoft has written.
Okay,
Right?
what do you mean by Python virtual machine? It uses the compiler for, I mean,
Python virtual machine is actually a software, Python software, where all the execution are happening.
okay. That's right.
Okay? And Python virtual machine actually understand the byte code of our Python file. So in our ID, we have written a Python code which actually look like more like a English language, right? Print.
Yes.
What it suggests? It suggests like you can print anything on any console or any output. We are instructing Python that can you print this particular string, what it is written with a open and close parenthesis, and string actually denote by a colon. Okay. Those are the
string is denoted by what is that? The inverted columns, right? Double quotes.
Yeah, double quotes, sorry. Yeah. With double quotes or single quotes. 2 quotes you can use to denote a Python string.
Okay.
So it is mandatory that if you have used single quotes, so on the end you need to use single quotes only to end that particular string. If you are using a different one or you are using double quotes here and the single quotes here, it will be raise a issue. You can see it is having a red on the page, and it is saying this particular parenthesis which actually open is not yet closed. So how we can resolve this issue? By updating the single quote to double quote. Okay. So this is a part of string.
No. Can you error out from the Python virtual machine? Like, I mean, like save it as like with a single quotes at the end, and execute that from Python space demo class.py.
Can you repeat it? What is it?
No. earlier you were invoking the Python file, right? Invoking the
Right.
Python file. So what I'm saying is like instead of what I wanted to say is like save the demo class.py file with the incorrect syntax, and can we
Okay.
execute
Okay.
like
So you
what we
want to raise the error, right? Okay.
yes, correct.
Good. So we have a error in the file. In the ID, it will show you that what is the error. But in a simple text file, it will not show you. Okay. It actually gives the error after running the program. The same error it will give what it the ID is showing. Okay, to close the parenthesis. Here it is saying that in this particular piece of code, you have a literal error, a syntax error.
Yeah, end of the line while scanning.
Yeah. And this particular process is also being checked in this particular flow where the virtual machine is involved.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it basically checks the
So once
syntax
it
is written correctly
yeah.
or not, then it will.
In different language like Java, we used to track syntax on the compilation only. So anybody know Java, they can understand that once we are running this Python code and the Java code, it's actually first we need to run the compiler, where actually it's check the syntax. Then after we run the compiled code, we actually gives the compiled code to JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Then only it's try to run the program. But here directly we can execute one line of code. We don't need to first compile, then we need to run. Nothing is happening that complicated. Directly you can run it, and Python itself can handle whatever the process you need to do in the background. And you have listened from someone that Python is slow. Okay. Why? Because of this compilation and the virtual machine are in one place. That's why it is bit slow. We don't need to, take care of this compilation process or run process manually. So directly it is happening. The flow is happening. That's why it is little bit slow than other language like C++ or Java. But the work it is doing, it is impressive. Okay. Fine. So until that you understood that how actually the Python program does. So this is the example. Anybody have any doubt?
This demo class.py means it's a system defined file or it's a library you imported.
So this is a user defined file. We have created this file.
Okay.
So we have a new folder, and in this folder we have written a Python file here, and what actually we are running. Okay. Yeah. Keep asking question, guys, because if one guy is actually confused, it's something like we are lagging behind the class, right? Keep asking questions. That is good. You guys are really open to learning. If nobody have, we can proceed further. Great. Thank you. And let's start our first Python program. Let me close other tab because from now, from now I think we can use Jupyter Notebook. What actually we were targeting to do. So yeah, we are already, we already have written our first Python code is print. Okay. in Jupyter notebook. So what is written, we can read it out. Like in this program, we have to use the built-in print function to print the string hello world on our computer screen. By this way, a string is a sequence of characters. In Python, string are enclosed inside a single or double quote or triple quote. Okay. So let me go. Is my voice audible?
Some breaking is happening.
Okay. Let me. So did you got the explanation of this, or it was breaking at the middle only?
No, just now it started actually. Now it is fine.
Fine. So in this first Python program, we will actually be, coming in touch with a print function, which works is to print the input what we are giving on the console or the system output string. And inside the print function, we will use a string, which is a sequence of characters. It will be printed on the screen in our Jupyter notebook. That's what I was saying. Yeah. So let me jump back to our Jupyter notebook. So, yeah. On the last class, we have created a Jupyter file, Jupyter notebook file. You can see this one. In our Python for DS, we have a Python file which actually have a extension IPYNB. So what is the meaning of this IPYNB? So Krishna, you said just 2 minutes back that Python have an extension called .py, and currently you're saying it is called IPYNB. Why you're discriminating? So here I can say in .py what actually you were writing previously. Here it is a Python module which contains full line of code. Okay. Here I have used only one line. It can be possible that I can use thousands of lines at once. Okay. And at one time only we are giving this file to Python to execute the program. One time, once. We are not writing the file, running it. After that, at once we are giving the Python file to the Python interpreter. But it is not the case in Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter is an interactive terminal. Once you run a code, once you write a line of the code, you can run it at the same time. But it is not happening in our VS Code. There is no preference to run it line by line.
So do you
Full-
mean like it cannot execute multiple statements in that if it has multiple statements in the demo class.py file, it will not be executed through the DS, correct?
Definitely, it can execute multiple. It can execute multiple, line of code.
Mhm.
See, I have written 11 line of code.
Yeah.
If I open my console and if I run it, it will be printing that much line of code. But the thing is, in Jupyter Notebook, we have an interactive terminal. So this I you are looking into, this I, first thing, the I it's called as interactive Python notebook. So this is the extension of Jupyter notebook. What actually you are looking at. And if you go inside that notebook, we have an interactive terminal. Once I write the print statement, I can execute by running it. Okay. See. Once I write a Python program, I can run this particular button, or I can run shift and enter. See, right now actually pressing step first, then enter later, which actually run that particular line of code. And however time I am running this particular cell, it actually runs that much of time. You can see the input count is actually increasing. It is actually suggesting that you have already run this particular line of cell 10 times. 10 times there are input. So did you understand what is the difference between .py file and what actually this IPynb means? Everyone?
Can you repeat once again?
Definitely.
Thanks, sir.
So in this new folder, we have a Python file which actually have a extension called .py file. Got it? In this py file, we have statements, print statement with us. Okay, this particular line is called a statement in Python. In any code, a piece of line is called a statement. So I can say there are multiple print statement in this line of code. But can I execute them by writing those codes without having a terminal in place? Okay. We can run all of the statement at once.
Yeah.
We can give all of the statement to our PVM, Python virtual machine, at a time. That actually what this py file is suggesting for. And yeah, in this extension we have an interactive Python notebook. So in here we can run multiple times this statement. Okay, and it is actually interactive. It is actually talking to us, the user, that once you write a code, just execute it right now. But in ID, what I need to do, the same thing. If I need to do, I need to write the Python statement. I need to go to CMD. I need to run it once again. So each time you are updating the Python file, you need to go and invoke the interpreter like this every time. So what is the advantage? If you are a data engineering, data analyst, or machine learning engineer, the interactive terminal is a blessing for you.
Yes. Got it.
Got it? Yeah.
Yes. Thank
So
you.
this is
So-
what the difference. And yeah,
So we can go by one line, right? In Jupyter Notebook. Interactive.
correct.
Uh,
So
so
you are
let-
a yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, please.
So if any error, then we can identify in the particular line.
Correct. Same line. The pain of going to the CMD and once again going to the ID, it actually, minimizing. After updating any line of code, I need to go to the CMD. I need to run the Python interpreter once again. So this pain, the Jupyter Notebook is reviving you from. Got it?
Right. Is it more
Yeah.
like running the SQL commands from the command prompt using SQL CMD commands and having a SQL Server Management Studio and running the commands for
Yep. So those are the personalized example. You can, definitely, tag them.
Perfect example. Thank you.
Perfect one. Yeah,
client to more like
correct. Yeah. So whatever you guys can understood and, in your mind, you can cook it. Yeah. So that's how you can take the, learning on your brain, on your mind. Yeah. Correct. So let us go ahead and run those program on our Jupyter Notebook. Let us start with that. Let me copy this particular command. Go to Jupyter Notebook, paste it down, and to run it, let me press shift and enter. And this particular program is executed, already done. So the pain of going to ID CMD is gone. Cool. So here we also understood that how other programming language actually works, because we need to also know the difference ahead what actually we are going to learn. So with a piece only one line of code, we can't decide. We have already learned Python, because there are multiple things. It can be it can be inside Python that we need to understand. So the first thing we need to understand to be a Python developer is the indentation. Okay, how the indentation actually works in Python. So you guys will ask me, what is the indentation? What is the indentation in Python? How it is also similar in other languages? I'll simply say you, if you are writing a program and you have a statement or a condition behind, there the indentation will be working. And in other language, we are using parentheses, we are using curly brackets to open a block, to close a block. Let me give you an example. Let me show you. So below you have a Java code. It actually doing nothing, printing the list of array in that program. Okay, it have a array, it have a for loop, and printing the particular statement, particular line of I can say element in that array. Okay, and you can see prior to that it actually enclosed in a class. It is enclosed in a method, and this is the piece of code which actually having the open parenthesis inside a function. So I can say this, but where the curly bracket has started in the class, it is actually referring the end of this curly bracket. So this particular section is a block until here. It is called a block. So I can say this class, you will not understand what is the class is, but a piece of statement or I can say a executable, it is inside this particular block. So I can say this class actually having this line of code inside it. And if you go ahead, there's a method or a function inside this class which actually has this particular line of code inside it. Okay, and what else is a block of code? This for loop. This for loop is having one line of code inside it. So those are the blocks. Okay, in Python we don't use this. The curly bracket is very tedious to understand where it is open, where it is closed. In Python we simply use indentation. So indentation is nothing. The block we are not, instead of using those curly brackets, we are using the spaces or the tabs in Python. So you can see in Python we are not using classes and methods. Directly it has executed this line of code. It has written this line of code here. So it has defined a list. It is iterating the list in a for loop, and it is having an indentation after this. You can see there is a spaces, and this particular spaces is called indentation. Nothing else. We are not using curly bracket to set this is a block of code. We are providing indentation to let know that this code is inside the for loop. Understand? Let me show you on the example. Yeah. So this is one line of code. This is very simple. If we have a statement, inside our Python code, like I have a if statement. If I define a variable called a is equal to 10, let me execute. Yeah, once it is executing, let me write other code like in Python we have different condition to we can write different condition like if statement or for loop, which actually having having the indentation inside them, or a group of statement is inside this particular statement. So condition is also same. Okay, if I write if a is equal to 10, then it will go inside the block of code and it will print yes. To understand how the Python program is written, this is a simple line of code. It actually run directly the print statement. But to run this print statement, it needs to go inside this if block. This is a block because you have a spaces after the after this colon. So every time you see a colon, right? So you can see there is a block after that. There is an indentation after that. If I'm not writing indentation, right, it will be the Python Jupyter notebook can directly understand. Yeah, you have written colon, then it will be a group of statement, right? So this is a group of statement. That's why Python interpreter has already given 4 spaces or tab. One tab is equal to 4 spaces. The same way I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 spaces or one tab. In our keyboard, we can say in the left top corner, in the third button, we can see the tab. One tab or 4 spaces. That is valid in Python. That is called a indentation. If I run this piece of command, you can see the line is executed. If I define a different variable, what will happen? Anybody can answer. I have a different variable in place, like a is referring to 11, where right now a is 11, and it is comparing 11 to 10. Is it a true statement or a false statement? It is right or wrong? Is 11 is equal to 10 or not?
No.
No, right? It is simple. It is really no. It will not go inside this block. It will not go inside the if block. If I run the code, there is no output because it has this particular if statement has a false condition. So Krishna, where did it go? How can I see where did it go? So simple, it will go to the else block. If I define a else block here and a colon, so else is also a block of code, right? But it is linked to the if block. If anything is not running in this if block, it will come to the else block. Every time you define a if, right? So you can state as a block because if is a block of code. If I write the same statement, if I run this piece of code, we can able to see the second print statement which is written in our else block. So this actually stated that if the condition is true, it will go inside the block. If the condition is not true, it will go in the else block. So this particular spaces which actually we are using is called a indentation. Got it? Anybody have any doubt? What is the indentation?
Got it.
Okay.
What happens if suppose I don't put any indentation?
Correct. So same thing, you will got a big error. If you not use an indentation, the if statement will not understand this print statement is inside that particular block. If I run this,
Okay. Got it.
so Python actually works line by line. It actually started from top, go to the end. If I say you what the line by line means, I have written 8 lines of code. What will happen in our Python virtual machine, will it take every code from the 8th line to 1? Does it do like that? No, right? It actually starts from the beginning, goes to the end. Correct. So what Python does, it will execute the first line of code you have written. It will print, it will do its work or print the statement, whatever the task you have given. Then it will go to the next line of code. It will go to the next line of code. Until and unless you don't have an error, it will go until then. If you have an error in the 5th line of code, it will be executed from that line of. Okay, if I give you example, I have an error. I have a syntax error in line number 5. So what will happen? Does this line number 6 to 7 it will execute or not? Yeah, let me cut some statement.
No, it won't execute.
It will not, right? Until and unless we are not giving an error, it will go on. If I print it, it actually doesn't execute because the compiler already understood that there is a line in this particular line of code. There is an error, so that's why it throws directly the error. Doesn't print the statement. Okay, but if you have a big Python code having a condition, having a classes, function, so there actually it works line by line only. Cool. If you are not having a indentation error mostly. Okay. In this scenario also, because the target of making you understand this is to understand this particular line, because as Python is a line by line executor, so it will also do the same thing. It goes to this particular line. It actually checks. It does its duty that this variable is really equal to 10 or not. It does its duty, and this line of code actually passed. And next, there is a second line where the indentation is not given. So that's why the error is in this particular line number 2, we have a indentation error. In Python, it is really beginner friendly, and the error you will get, it is in really simple language. Expected an indentation block. So I gave an indentation block. Got it? I will run it once again. Oh, then one more error there is. What is this thing? In line number 4, in this print in this line of code, we got a same error, indentation. So it is expecting a tab or 4 spaces. Let me give 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll run it once again. Our issue is resolved, right? The issue we are getting of indentation is resolved. So this is how we tackle the bugs, tackle the challenges or errors in our code. So everyone understood how the print statement is written, how this string is actually there inside a double quote, single quotes, or triple quotes, right? I will show you the triple quotes one. You can give triple quotes also. In the triple quotes, it also is a valid string. This is running, right? But despite of that, you should give valid one. If you are giving three single quotes and 3 double quotes, it's in the end. See what will happen. There is an error. So whatever the quotes you have started, you need to end with that particular quote. So to in this also you are getting a really nice line of error. Okay, by looking into this error, I'm thinking, wow, right? In the end of the file, EOS means end of file. While scanning the triple quotes string literal, so it is saying that I have a expectation of triple quotes or a single triple quotes, but you have given a different double quotes type. So you need to replace this one. Okay. Yeah. See. We got the answer. So this is one variety. This is another one. And yeah, this is those are the another variety. Double quotes. Let me write it real quick. Let me keep it. There is a single quote is valid. Double quotes are valid string. And single quotes, single triple quotes, and double triple quotes. Those are the valid string you can define on Python. Okay. Don't worry, I will give you this notebook. You guys can execute in a Jupyter playbook. Okay. So until and unless anybody has any doubt.
Yeah, so far good.
Okay. Great. Next, we'll understand what is a variable. In Python, we need to define some external data, right? We need to provide external data to execute our own program and all to run them. So you have already seen a variable initialization. Where it is? This one. A equal to 11. So this means we are assigning 11 as a value to a variable called A. So if anybody is asking what is a variable, there's nothing but a which actually stores the value inside it. In a simple word, I can explain you that in your kitchen you have boxes, right, which actually contain rice, dal, okay, and here you want to level the boxes. You have multiple boxes on your kitchen, like it is for dal, it is for rice, it is for cornflakes, this is for salt. So there are empty boxes, and here you are defining the variable, which actually called name. I'm assigning a name to this container because those containers are identical. I can't able to see what are inside it, so I'm naming them. So this is salt, this is rice, this is cornflakes, this is Horlicks, this is salt or sugar. So what I'm doing, I'm labeling the boxes, and these boxes actually contain certain variable or values. Okay, those rice and all. But in the same way, Python also stores those those variable in the memory. It is called RAM. It is called RAM. In Python, once you are executing the Python virtual machine, it is connected to our computer RAM, and in RAM we have memory. So it is called random access memory. Once you are out of this memory, then all the content of this memory will be vanished. Random access memory. So here we have also block of memory storage like this. And here we can define our variable. As we have defined A is equal to 11. So in our Python memory, how the Python virtual machine is actually executing, it is going to a RAM. It is asking for spaces. That do you have any empty boxes with you to store a variable? It will say, yeah, I have empty boxes. So please, yeah, you can store the value here. So here what it will do, it will assign this box as the name A, what actually you have defined, and in this box it will store 10 or 11, whatever you have defined. Like that, you can also you can define multiple variables in Python. Like I need to define variable b, which actually store 100 inside it. Yeah. So here I need to define another variable. Let me define a is equal to 11, a is equal to 10. Let me execute it. Once you execute it, right, once the execution is completed, you can able to see this particular box in your RAM. It will not visible, obviously, because it is an internal thing. Those are the magnetic tape actually they are storing it. You can't able to see, but you can able to verify them. How you can do? By once again calling the variables. See, if I define a, I can say print a. If I execute it, I have validated that yeah, a is 10 is the value which is stored in the a variable, a boxes, a container, and each container have a different address, memory address. Like you guys have your own address. If I want to reach you by your name, I can search by you by your address or a different type of address, or if you have given any map link, right? So like that, each and every variable have a memory location or memory address. If I can see, there is a random character actually, which actually store in as a memory address. To find the memory address in Python, we have a function called id. So same as the print function, we have a function called id. We need to pass the variable inside that. That's how it will print what is the memory address. And memory address will be stable until and unless you are not deleting the variable. Got it? So I can say this value, what actually it is prompting out, it is a part of this this particular specific box you have in. So you can put yourself in this particular box, like you are inside the box and you have a name and you have an address. Same as also Python variable works. So Python variable have a value, they have a name, they have an address. So same B also have an address, but B is not created. We have not defined B. So can I print the B here? B variable. Can I do that? No. Because before printing, before validating the variable, you first need to assign them. If you are not doing that, it will show you this type of error that B is not defined. So for this, let me define the variable like this. So this is called variable assignment. We are assigning the variable a value. Once I do it, let me print once again. The error is resolved here. So right now we have put the variable B, we have put the 100 value inside the variable B. And same as that, we have an address. We have an address for this. Everybody clear until that?
Yes, Krishna. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, Krishna.
Yeah.
So is the memory like session specific? Example, like if you close the Jupyter tab and reopen it again in another tab,
It will be gone. It will be gone. It will be gone.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's specific.
So say yes. If I can show you the example here. If I open a ID, I have assigned some variables like A, B, and if I print them, I go to Python virtual machine to excite them, like the file name and the Python interpreter. If I run them, until and unless the program is not ending, right, from the start to end, it will be there in the RAM. It will be there in the memory location. See how much time it actually takes to run this, print this program. Less than a minute, less than a second, right? So for the 10 seconds, the variable will be there. So currently, as we have already, ended this, we have exited from the, Python runtime. So the variables also may be gone. They will be destroyed by Python itself. Actually, Python is taking care of the variable to be, to be destroyed, which actually are not being used. So there is a Python garbage collector which actually takes which actually clear out the unused variable after the Python program is ended. Got it? But in the Jupyter, what is happening? Yeah. So currently, as we have already defined variable A, and we are in the Python runtime only, because this all piece of code are already stored in the RAM. If I reopen, if I close the statement and reopen, it might be possible that it have one. Yeah, it have one because it actually storing in the cache. It has a cache mechanism, right? So it is actually stored on the cache. That's why you can get the variable. But once you are closing the browser, you are starting from the beginning, you will not find the variable stored. We want to it will ask you to rerun all the cells, right? From the beginning. You can run this command, run all. So once again, store all the variable in the memory. Got it?
Yes.
Cool. So same as we are storing a integer. And here we are not defining that this 100 is an integer or this, let me get a string also. This is a string, we are not defining it. So how the Python actually understanding it is a string or it is a integer? Let me show you how Python actually understands. If I type C, it is saying, okay, you have provided a string inside it. If I do the same thing on B, it will say it is an integer. So those are the data types what we are assigning on this variable. So data types are nothing but a different type of classes or object we need to store in a variable. We can store in a variable. Right? So Python is a dynamic type language. Dynamic type means in the runtime itself, it understands whatever the value you have given, it will understand this is a string. It will understand this is a integer. Okay, you don't need to define it explicitly that it is an integer, it is a string. But in different languages, like in Java, you need to assign the type also. What actually it has defined? It has defined this is an array of string type. See, but in Python we are not defining any very data type. So what it is saying here in the Java, we have an array which actually contains strings. But in Python, we don't have any data type, assignment anywhere. Directly you can run, and Python it really having understanding of that which variable is containing which type of value. So what Python is doing here, it is making simpler the code for the beginners, because they don't want they don't need to think about before any variable assignment also. It is making simple for those beginners or the Python guys. They need to focus on the coding standard. They don't need to focus on what are the different type of syntax you need to define, what are the different type of data type you need to define. So those are the things. Cool. Yeah. So Krishna, as we have already 10 in this particular block, can I assign a different value? Can I assign a different string inside it? Definitely you can do, right? How is this process happening? This process is called redeclaring variable in, we can say redeclaring the variable. So here we have declared the variable. In this next step, we will redeclare. So we already know the a variable is containing 10 as a value. If I need to update the variable, what I can do, I can define a string hello world. If I print a variable once again, it will be replaced. Where is my eraser? Okay. So see, after redeclaring, the a value will be replaced by hello world. Okay. The hello world will be inside the box. It will not create another box. It will be redeclaring the same block, because we need to optimize our memory. We don't need to, with each Python run, if we store different type of value, it will be something like our memory will be full after some time. We can't able to do any operation later on, right? So that's why we need to optimize our code. So that's why we are redeclaring the variable. So this is how it is being redeclared. We can redeclare B also with a different data type. So we have one more data type called Boolean, true or false. So currently the B have a value called 100. I need to redeclare the variable with a Boolean. So this is how Boolean is defined. If I print B, it will say it is true. Redeclare it true. And what is the type of B? It is a Boolean type. It will automatically understand which type you are defining. We are not declaring anything explicitly.
Nice one.
Understand?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Got it.
So there is a
Do we
provision.
have bit data types in this one?
Sorry,
Do we have bit data types?
bit data type, byte.
Yeah.
We have bytes. Yeah. But we are not using it in real time. Yeah. If any, explicit you are doing any computation task, or if it is being needed, then only you can use. But integer type, you can declare. You can define it. You can use integer. Okay. Yeah, we'll understand those types in our upcoming classes. So just to add on those variables, I'm showing you how we can redeclare the variable. And there is yeah. So before Krishna, sorry, you will ask me, Krishna, how this you are writing only A and it is being printed in 10. Why? Earlier you were using print statement, then only it was printing. So why after writing A only it is being printed? So you are blessed that Jupyter Notebook is in the play. Once you are writing a variable or value inside this particular cell, it will understand that you are going to print it. So that's why you don't need to define any print statement explicitly in this interactive cell. It will do the same thing if you are assigning, if you are calling by print statement or if you are without calling it. If I call print A, it will do the same thing. If I write A and run it, it will do the same thing. There's no difference in the two statements. So that's why I have removed the print statement. Cool. Fine. Ahead of this, if we have two similar data type variables, we can do mathematical operations also, right? So what B contains? B contain a boolean. What C contain? Do we have C variable? Yeah, we have C variable. What D contain? D contain nothing. So let me define a integer on D variable. So in D we have a 10 as a value. Let me define another variable called E, which actually has 180 in place. We have a different integer value here. So both have a type called both have a data type called integer. So here we can run a arithmetical operation, plus, minus, into, division. So those are the operations we can also define on the variable, integer variable right now. So if I do D plus E, it will show you the answer. It will be showing you the answer. The same thing, you can also do D minus E. Okay. Those are the operation you can do on the variables. Internally, what Python is doing, if you are doing D minus E, then it is going to the memory variable. It is picking up the value from the variable A, picking up the variable from variable B. Okay, whatever the variable you have defined. Okay, we have defined D and E. So picking up the variable values and doing a arithmetical operation. Cool. Yeah. So you will ask me, Krishna, what will happen then if we add two different data types? What will happen? It will raise a error. See, A variable have a different data type called string, right? D variable have a different data type called integer. If I want to add them, it will say cannot concatenate string to integers to string. Okay, it actually is telling that you can do the concatenation or the addition in the similar data type only. You can't use the string to add on. Okay, if you want to add on, then you need to do the typecasting. Typecasting means type updating. So right now we have a value integer called 10. If I need to add the integer in any string, I need to convert the 10 integer to a string variable. Okay, see how we can do. Like A is a string. If I need to add a integer, which is actually D, so this is the process. It's called typecasting. Right now you can find 10 here. right? Earlier it was giving a issue. Right now you can add them. So those things we'll understand on our upcoming classes like data types or operators. There we'll understand. Okay. So here you guys have understood, right? Variable, how the variable is being defined, how we are updating, redeclaring the variables, right? If everyone got it, then we'll head to our next thing.
Yes. We got it, Krishna.
Thank you. Next chapter is identifiers. So what is the identifier? So in Python, whatever the name you are defining, the user defined name. User defined name means, so in this particular program, you have defined by your own, or it is being defined by Python. So what is defined by your own? Is print defined by your own? No, right? A is defined by you. So A, the variable A is called identifier. A is called an identifier. What is user defined? What actually you are defining by your own? That is called a user identifier. Any name you are giving, right? Like if I say, let me also define here. A name in the Python program, which is called a identifier. It also includes it doesn't like that currently we are learning the variables. Okay, so as you can see, this is only the identifier. No, so there are multiple things like classes, functions, and I can say there are different entities there where user is defining a variable, okay, or a name. So here, where is my slide? Here. So here there is a set of rules. There are a set of rules to define the name. So you can't name anything you like. Okay, there are a set of rules that Python follows. Right. So what are the rules? The first rule is that the only allowed the characters in Python. So what are those? You can use the lowercase or uppercase characters. Okay, alphabets that we have used, right? A is the alphabet in Python. Alphabet in English. Okay. That you can use A as in capital also. It will print the same thing, right? And the digits. Okay, you can also use the digits. You can also use the underscore. But to define a variable, you need to use all of the thing in a different way, but by taking all of the rules at the same time, right? So see, what are the rules ahead? So in here, we have two different type of variable which is being defined. It is saying it has a digit also, it has a alphabets also. But there are some rules like you should not, I can say you can't able to, you can definitely do that. But in this particular variable, it has written the digit on the first side. So this is wrong. So in Python, you should not define the digit first in our variable definition. Okay, I'll show you how. I can define any variable, right? Like I can define this. Good. We have a variable called total, and by use of digit and underscore, I can design my variable or Python name, but what may be the user defined name. You can use a variable. Yeah, sorry, you can define a variable with like this, with combination of digit and alphabet or a capital letter also. You can use capital letter also. You can use underscore also. Okay. If I run this and print it, it is valid. But in Python, what actually it is saying, you can't start the variable with a number. If I define a number like this, it is invalid.
Krishna, is Python a case sensitive one?
Okay, good question. If I define a capital letter variable, sorry, and defined a variable called 108, and we are printing it. What is the answer? 108, right? And same thing. Let me. The total is already defined. Let me define once again. $109. So did you understand what is this Python is? Right? It doesn't discriminate if you are whatever uppercase you are writing or lowercase writing, it will be defined it as a variable. Okay, so it is, you can say it is a case sensitive because it's taking the uppercase as a different variable, lowercase as a different variable, and those have a different IDs in our memory storage. It has a different ID. This one have a different ID. Those ID are different. So those memory address are different. So here we can understand the memory location, right? Those memory location are different. So those are two different variables. Okay. Yeah. So this is the first rule. I can say the rule is that should not use digit first. We should not use digits first to define the variable first or any name. Ahead of that, if I define a function, so this is how function is defined. Let me show you.
What is the function?
I'll tell you. Okay, function is nothing, is a predefined block of store which actually contain multiple statements inside there, right? As I have defined this function and running it, does all the statement got executed? No, right? If I do the same thing in our statement, it will definitely run. See, it will run. But if you are putting them inside a function, you need to call the function from a different with the same name what you have defined here. See, with the open and close parenthesis, you can call. After calling it, then only it will print the statement. So it is basically used when when you have same line of code. Okay, same line of statement to execute for a different program requirement. So there where function is being used. Okay. Yeah. So our main
Can you
motive
give an
is
example? I mean, I still
Mhm.
did not get like, so the DEF means like that is the definition. Is it like defining function? That's the thing
yeah.
you
So this
need
is
to
a
use.
keyword. This is a keyword. This is already defined in Python. that you should, for defining a function, you need to use def. Okay. And after that, you need to write the name of the function. Okay. Like you are writing a name of the variable total, right? Same way you are writing a name of the function like this. And after
So
this, you can.
where does the function ends?
Whereas the block ends, right? Here only the function ends. Whereas
Yeah.
the indentation is completed, right? If I write a print statement here with this without doing a indentation, so this is the block which actually function contains. Okay. Yeah. My motive
So-
is not to make you learn functions. Okay, we'll learn it later courses. But the thing is, while defining a function, we are writing a user-defined name, right? This hello world is the name of the function. And to define this name also, the same rule is being followed. The same rule is followed. Okay? We can't able to define the name like this. Same error will happen. If you want to define like this without the digit in first, it will work. It will work. Let me call the function. Okay. So focus in writing the user-defined variables. Okay, how they are defined. Okay. Yeah. And the second thing is the case insensitive thing. Okay. So yes, Python is a so those identifier what actually we are defining, right? The variables, those are the case insensitive. So you always need to define that, like if you are defining uppercase, so the value will be different. If you are defining in a lowercase, the value will be different. Okay. Case. Okay. Great. So ahead of that, let us also see what are the different type of valid and invalid variables. So here we'll understand that did you got the thing or not. I am defining a variable. Please let me know that is valid or not. So is this a valid identifier?
No.
No.
Okay. Why not?
It's not starting with a string object.
Right. So see, let me run it. Okay. Let me use a different character. Okay. Okay. So this one is not valid. Okay. Not valid. Yeah. You guys can say the first one is valid.
No, not valid.
Okay. Why not? I told you, right? The underscore is valid.
Okay.
Underscore is
Yeah. Underscore is valid. If you are writing underscore ahead of that, it is valid. So the only thing you should not use is the digit at the first place, right? If I define a variable, uh, it is valid, right? Yeah, this one,
Valid is not valid.
Invalid.
okay, this one,
Valid.
there's a double underscore. It is valid, right?
Yes.
And this one,
No,
Not valid.
okay. Are you sure?
I think valid. It's valid.
Are you sure? Before running,
I think it's
Yeah, because yeah.
it is valid because we don't have a we don't have a digit at the head string. Okay, if you are writing underscore at the first place, okay, that is a valid one. It is the other case that you are not using this particular variable to store values, because we need a simpler or easier variable to be remember or define in our code. We will definitely not use this variable, but the case is that where it is valid, where it is not. When a variable starts from underscore, you can say, yeah, it is valid. And there is no other special character it actually supports. If I write the same thing in underscore, in dollar, will it support? It will not. Okay, only the underscore as a special character, it will support. Just learn that, yeah. I'll give you this Python notebook, okay? And you guys can try by your own, okay, by defining different type of variables which actually work, which actually doesn't. Okay, in the same way you can define what actually I'm defining here. Cool. Anybody have any doubt in identifiers? What is the identifiers?
Good, good.
Okay. Next we have a keyword. What are keywords? Yeah. So keywords are nothing same as the identifier. Identifier are user defined, but the keyword are already defined in the Python. So it is a keyword for Python, I can say. Okay. So there are some words which are actually already reserved. You can't able to use those identifier for your users. So so there are already some words with like true, false, none, and, if, else, try, except. So those are the variables which are already defined in Python. You can't able to use them as an identifier or your function. See, if I do that, what will happen? If I take a keyword and try to define a variable, what it will say? Cannot assign, because it is already a keyword. So it's simple to say that Python has told the user that don't use those words for defining the variable or function name or classes, okay, or any values. Oh, sorry, values you can define, but the variable you can't define. Okay, so how many words we have? We have 33 words that are already predefined, and the normal Python user can't. We should not use them, like true, false, none. So those are the data types. And, or, not, is. Okay, is not, or. So those are the words you can't able to use them as a defining the variables. Yeah. So why they are used, mostly to let Python understand that what work you are doing. So previous to that, we were defining a function, right? We were defining a function from the def keyword. So here, what Python was understanding, Python was understanding that this guy is actually defining a function. Okay, he's actually starting a function. So that's why in the start of the statement we are writing def. So is def is inside this keyword? Yeah, you can see this here. Okay, same as that, the class is also, I think, this is not the def, sorry. This is the def. Yeah, same as the class. Okay, if you are defining a class, then it will let Python understand, yeah, you guys are actually defining a class in there. So this is a identifier, this is a keyword. Got it? And all of the keywords actually are in alphabets only. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Identifiers.
Yeah. So all of the keywords are actually in alphabets only. There is no special character like underscore or the digits. Okay, we have only the alphabets only.
We can use that reserved with underscore. Can we use that?
There are no reserve word in underscore, I think. So reserve word is predefined. You can't able to update any reserve word.
No, those reserved words we have, right? True, false, and none. So can we
Uh-huh.
use it with the underscore? Underscore true is equal to 10 and like that.
To define a identifier, you can do that. If you are defining an identifier like underscore true, I can write a name. Okay. If you print that, it will be a variable or identifier, valid identifier. But if you are writing like this, so it is this block of this word is already a part of the keywords. Okay, so Python doesn't allow you to use those words like true.
Okay.
Okay, you can use other like true 1 2 3 and your any word you can use, but don't use that particular word that actually Python is telling you to actually already defined. Okay, and if you want to see those in our Python code, so like if you want to ask the Python, can you let me understand what are the keywords in Python? So you need to write a simple program in Python. Okay, what is that? Don't focus on what I'm writing. Just get the look upon the output what actually it is coming. You will eventually understand how it is being written. Okay, yeah. So this is a simple Python code. So with executing it, we have list of Python keywords. Okay. As we are going ahead in these classes, we'll play with all of the with all of the keywords in Python. Don't worry. So eventually it will be you will understand in your mind all of the Python keyword will be there. So right now this is 33 words or 35 words. You'll think about that. How can I understand them? So don't worry. In this class only you will, once we are going ahead, right? Those will be in your mind. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. So everyone understood what is a keyword? Am I new? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone understood, right? What is a keyword? What is the difference between the keyword and identifier? Anybody can say? Anyone? What is the difference? We have understood two topics, right? A keyword and identifier. What is the difference between them?
Identifiers we can define. Keywords already defined in the system.
Correct. Okay. So this is the statement that what actually I was looking for. The identifier is user defined. The
User
keyword is keyword is already defined in Python. Okay. Don't use them to create an identifier. Got it? Yeah. So anybody is lagging behind, is not understanding anything. Did anyone doesn't understand keywords? What is that identifier? Everybody with me, right?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay.
Yes, Krishna. Keyword is basically Python syntax.
Python? Sorry?
Python, yeah.
Can you be a little louder?
Keyword is Python defined, correct? Keyword.
You can say, yeah, you can say keyword are the Python identifiers that already defined by Python only to understand your code flow. Okay. So you are going to write some code, right? Like you are going to define some classes, function. Without any keyword, he will not understand, right? What you are going to write. Like if you are writing a if statement, okay, how he will understand that where I need to, if I do a check or not. In the add, in this particular line of code, we have defined if and else. So those are the keyword, right? If is a keyword, else is a keyword.
Correct.
Correct. So here, Python is telling you that those are the keywords that actually I understand. That those are the condition I am going to check. So if you are defining if, then I will check the condition that A is equal to 10 or not. If it is false, then it will call to coming to else statement. So here Python is understanding. The keyword is for his understanding. Identifier is for your understanding. Got it?
Got it.
Simple, right? Yeah.
Good.
Hey, Krishna.
Yeah.
So when you are using the operator, like when you are assigning a value, you are using like a single equals to sign. When you are
Yes.
using the operator, like now in the later case statements, you are using like double equals to sign.
Correct. So this is also a operator called assignment operator. Okay. This is the assignment operator. So what you are doing, you are assigning a value to a variable, right? So it is called a assignment operator. So when we are doing a double equal to, it is actually a comparison operator. We are comparing that is the variable is equal to 10 or not. We are comparing that if the variable is equal to 10 or not. Means we are asking Python, can you compare the value of this A to this 10 or not? So internally A is referring to 11. So what the scenario will be, right? So I can replace A is equal to 11, right? And if I compare this, it will be false, right?
Yeah,
So this is a
yes,
comparison
right.
operator. Yeah.
Should we use to double equal to one single?
Sorry?
Is
A
it with the
double-
same all the operators, like let's say suppose A greater than 10. And if in case statements, like if do we have to write like if A greater than 11 or 12, like those kind of thing? Is it only for
Yes,
the
yes, it is there. Yeah. Thank you for your excitement. So this is we will be covering on operators topics. Okay. So those are the different yeah. In this we will understand. the different type of operators. What operator you are talking about is this one, I think. Where it goes. Yeah. So equal to is a assignment operator, okay, which actually assigns the value. Okay, and where is this is a assignment operator, okay, plus equal to, minus equal to, okay, and for yeah. So this one is for this equal to operator, equal to. This is for, just a minute, yeah. This is for comparing the values or variables. Okay. You can see greater than, less than, double equal to, not equal to. Just a minute. Yeah. So you're with me, right? Until here, you're understanding,
Yes.
right? What is equal to, what is an assignment?
Yes.
Okay.
So, sorry, I interrupted another person's question, right? You can ask it. What was his question?
No worries. Everyone is free to ask. Man. We have enough time to do the same. Yeah. What is the other question?
Yeah, the same question, equal to equal.
Same question?
Yes, it's equal to equal.
Okay. Yeah. To show you the example, right? I need to use those. I hate classes topic because with only print I can't make you understand, right? For showing the example of identifier, I have the example for definition, right? For function. Okay. You will eventually understand, but the thing is, you should understand the concept. But currently, I need to, make you understand the concept of that thing. Okay. Okay. So everything is clear about identifiers, keywords, right? How we can define a variable. So we have next thing called input and output in Python. Input and output in Python. So you have already understood what is the output. You have already understood what is the output. It is nothing but print statement. Okay, the print function we are calling, right? But the input is a little bit different. Okay, so what happens? Sometimes, the developer like us or any Python programmer want to take input from the user. Okay, what is the input from the user? I don't want to define a variable by my own. I'll show you example. Let me define a variable. Just a minute. Let me define a variable called Ram. And if I need to assign a value to it, I need to define it like 108. Then I can print it, right? I can print it like that. What if I don't want to define this value by hard coding it? So I'm doing a hard coding, right? 108 is a hard coding. Okay. So I want user, okay, the next user to add on a variable. Like you are going to ATM and you're writing your own PIN, right? So the PIN you are providing is a value, and the PIN which is stored inside that ATM machine, okay, which is taking from the user. Correct. So your PIN is not already available in the ATM machine, right? So if it is that case, it will be this particular line of code. Your 4 PIN will be there in the machine. Yeah, the 4 PIN already inside your machine. So you don't like that, right? So for that scenario, we have a concept of taking the input from the user. So how we can do that? It is very simple. Let me take a different variable called theta. Okay, but I don't want to define it in this hard-coded stuff. Okay, so how can I replace? I need to use a function called input. Same as print statement, right? How we are calling a print statement like this. Okay, I just executed this. So how we are defining how we are calling a print statement? By writing print, right? By writing print, and we are running a open and close bracket to it. The same case, we are calling a input function. Okay, and the input function takes a string. Okay, that string actually is, it will be printed once the input function is executed on the console. I will show you in the Jupyter also. I will show you on the IDE also how it's work on the console, on the Python console, how it will be looking like. Okay. So let me enter and just a minute, get my actually laptop is a little bit slow. I don't know. Let's see. Let me try here. Okay. Okay. So here we have already defined variable A and B, right? I don't want to define like this. I need input from the user. User can use any value to add to this variable A, right? So for that, I need to replace this particular code with input. I'm typing Y T and it is having Y. Enter. Oh my God, my keyboard is actually not working, guys. Please bear with me. Enter the value for A. Full. Okay. Let me do a colon here. What that means? Okay. Whatever the thing you have written here, once you run you are running the program, it will ask user to enter a value. See, if I run this program, it will ask whatever the string you have written here, it will ask you that enter the value for A. And here, whatever you have defined, like I am defining 1000. I'm defining 1000 and doing a enter here. You see, on print A, it is defining the user defined value, what we have defined. If I take a different value called Canada, A is a variable which actually contains the Canada value. So what we are doing, we are taking the input from the user. Okay, so this is nothing but input and output in Python. We are taking the input from the user, and printing the output. Same way. Yeah. Anybody was asking a question?
No, good.
Cool. So here, if I need to add two integer, what process I need to follow? Right? Let me do that. let me show you how we can take user input and add them. A plus B. Here I need to write this. The addition of two variables are this. Let me run this program. It has, as Python is going line by line, it came to here. Okay, first line. It is asking me enter the value of A. Let me define A value as 100. Then it is coming here and it is asking what is the B value. If I will tell 200, then it will come to the fourth line of code and it will say the addition of the two variable are. Okay, so it is not actually, it is actually concatenating. Just a minute. I actually, whatever you are writing in this particular code, right, it is a string. It is not a integer by itself. Okay, so you need to use a typecasting here. If I do the same thing, right now you'll get a 300. So why to particularly to show you that whatever the input we are writing like this, it is taking a string as a default argument, as a value. Okay. If I take C and do the typecast, okay, let me print what is the type of C. Dot type. How to check a type? By this function. Okay, let me pass the variable C here. Let me run the function. See, I have not, let me remove the typecasting. If I run this program, yeah, I can take 100, 200. If I take here 300 also, the 300 what we have defined, it will be a string type. Okay, it will be a string type. Let me also print for A and B. For A, what is the type? For B, what is the type? A type is B type. Okay. If I print the function. Anyway, I'm writing an integer, right? I'm writing a digit. But by default, the input actually taking as it as a string. You always remember this because many people got confused here only. That why it is taking a string. As I have typecasted means I have converted the string to integer. So that's why it is writing the class as a integer type. Okay. So don't think about what is a class. Okay. As it is saying that it is a integer type. A is a integer type. B is a integer type because it is already typecast and the default value is a string. Got it? Until here, anybody has any confusion for this input, taking input? Anybody? Same thing I can do in Jupyter Notebook. Same thing. Let me copy. Let me paste here. If I run it, just a minute. Oh, it is actually executing all of this. Let me execute this only. So this star actually means, it is being running this particular section, but there might be some problem. Yeah, it's actually a bit slow. anyway, we have the ID. We have understood how the things work, right? And yeah, one more thing you may be observing that Krishna, why have you written comma? Then you have written the variable. Okay, why I've written, because you can't write a variable inside the double quotes. It will be string only. Okay, if I give you example, let me comment this and let me take this a plus b inside this string and let me remove this. So comment those two. If I run this piece of code, see what is happening. It is directly taking a and b as an string only. So that's why to declare any variable, you always need to do a comma, then only type it like this. Okay. If I print value of a, for this I need to define like comma a. I will not define it. It is actually also executing this line of code, and we are actually assigning the variable a on this next line of code. आ जाओ. If I comment this line, if I run it, got it right? We don't, if there is any variable, then we need to write comma a only. Yeah. So yeah, we'll also revise this same topic once again in our tomorrow's class. Okay, because of some issue in the system, I think it's not running well. So yeah, we'll once again recall this. Don't worry if you are not getting it. Yes. So until today's classes, what we have actually covered, that what is a variable, how Python actually works, identifier, keyword. Until here, anybody have any doubt?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So we are pausing this class here only. We'll continue the same tomorrow. If anybody have any questions, they can ask. Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you confirm like tomorrow also 9 p.m. EST?
Same time. Whatever the time started today, same time.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.